everybody. Welcome into a Thursday, what I like to call Little Friday. It is July 17th, and I'm Chris Allen, and this is 270 weather for the 270 area code and beyond. I'm trying to find my logo. Where is my logo? There it is. Okay. Hey, logo. I'm just, I'm just making sure you feeling okay. All right. You were just hidden there for a minute. I didn't understand why. But okay, as long as you're there. Okay, so today, uh, very targeted, the storms. And it's like, why isn't it raining already? Because that's all I talked about. Yesterday, last night, and this morning on television, it's like, where are the storms? Well, they've been everywhere else but Bowling Green and Southern Kentucky. It's very, very strange. Everything just kind of got, you know, capped off. The rains and thunderstorms have happened other places and not here. So I don't think we're going to get through the night, though, without getting some rain, which I'll show you on the radar in just a moment. Let's check the numbers from today. And it was a hot one for sure, 95. Our high temperature at the Bowling Green Airport, 5 degrees above the normal of 90. And look at that low. Can we really call that a low temperature? 78, 2 degrees away from 80 degrees as a low temperature. Really, it's not called a high or a low. It should be called maximum highest temperature and then lowest minimum temperature. But we call them for short highs and lows. It doesn't mean they're during the day it's hot, then in the evening it's cool. Basically, it is when you look at the numbers, but a low temperature of 78, that is crazy. And then when you have dew points that are in the 70s and almost hitting 80, that is like the thickest, yuckiest, stinkiest air that you can. Well, I mean, stinkiest, yes, because that's when you usually, you know, start smelling people and their antiperspirant has run out, and it's like, ew, pew. Yeah, when it gets this hot, ugh, nothing can survive really. I mean, it's just pretty yucky. Okay, here's a look at radar. I'll zoom in close on a couple of places. Um, Here's Bowling Green. You're getting a shower right now at 7:24 p.m. from Oakland to Smiths Grove, and as you go up 65 toward Bucky's, getting some rain there along 6880 and Kentucky 101 as it goes between 6880 and 31W right there into southern Edmonson County. There's a shower here trying to work into the Browning area, western Warren County, but it's falling apart. These look pretty healthy. Nothing severe, of course. Let me zoom out a little more. These start in Park City as you go up 31W and I 65 through Cave City, Horse Cave. And these, if you'll note, they're training. And what I mean by that is I can draw a line like right here and notice those cells continue to move over that same line. Now, that can cause flooding. It can cause minor flooding. It can cause some street and road flooding. So far, no flood advisories for that. But if it keeps raining in that same spot, yeah, it's a possibility. So if you're in the Caveland area and you're watching here at 7:26 p.m., it's been raining for a little while and it's continuing to rain. There's some lightning and rumbles of thunder. You're probably getting that big booming rolling thunder because that's from all the water that is in the atmosphere. And once the lightning strikes, then you get an expansion of the air. Then you get the rolling thunder, and the thunder just bounces off all of the rain that is within that system. But it is a nice little system that's putting down some pretty heavy rainfall. So I would be careful in that area because you're likely to see some flooded roadways. Now, back to the west, we have scattered showers and thunderstorms. First of all, leaving Calhoun and McLean County going toward Owensboro. And this is a pretty good storm right here. Watch it develop here east of Earlington. This would be 41, US 41 as it goes into Madisonville. And this would be I-69. Here's the big junction between the Western Kentucky Parkway and 169 and 69. So in that area, we're looking at a very strong thunderstorm with heavy rain and lots of lightning. It is not severe, but I told you last night and even earlier this morning, there was a possibility that we could get maybe a couple of storms turning severe, but so far that has not happened around here. Now, there is still some hope that we'll see some showers and thunderstorms overnight tonight in the Bowling Green area, even though there's not a lot going on right here, right now. And we're just about dark, and we're going to lose the daytime heating. There's a little storm there that just popped up within the last few minutes. Look at this one, just outside of Scottsville. That's 231 right there going into Scottsville. So this would be right as you go out of Warren County into Allen County. It's putting down some very heavy rain, maybe some gusty wind. And see all the lightning? There's a lot of lightning with that one. So yeah, thunderstorm development is still a very good possibility as we head into tonight. Some of this out west may hold together and come our direction. Now, I will tell you that cold front, a weak cold front as it is kind of right in here, and it's going to stall. So as it stalls, it will start to kind of flex a little bit. It'll start to take on more of a little bit of a different shape as we get into the day tomorrow, kind of like this. I'll show you that on the maps. So it's going to retreat back to the north because we have high pressure that's sitting over southeastern Kentucky. And so that is going to continue to force the moisture up into that boundary. And as we get daytime heating, then all of this will start all over again tomorrow. So I don't think we're done yet. We just haven't, it's not been our turn here in southern Kentucky yet for thunderstorms, but our turn is coming. Okay, let's go to the Mesonet network. We'll check on a few numbers there. Let me do an update. And you can see that where we've had rain, and rain is still occurring, it's 70s. Lots of 70s in northern Kentucky and along the Ohio River. But where we've hardly had any rain, we are still in the 80s. Well, 79 at the Corvette plant, 81 at the Ag Expo Center here at 7:30 p.m. on this Thursday night. 80s across the board, pretty much. Rainfall today, see, nothing. I mean, there's probably been a couple of little showers, but they missed the sensors, the rain gauges. Until you go up to Hart County, and just outside of Munfordville, you picked up over a half inch of rain today. And then some other places back west where we've seen the rain and saw it on radar, you're starting to get some rainfall. Now look at this. 1.44 inches of rain today in Crittenden County. That's Marion, Kentucky on the Ohio River. And then look at this, 208, over 2 inches of rain in Hardinsburg. That's in Breckinridge County. So some very heavy rain there today. And remember what I said, that with this atmosphere being as moisture laden as it is, you could get with one storm 1 to 2 inches of rain. There was an excessive rainfall risk over the area today, but really it did not materialize. There was a flood watch to the east. That really didn't. I mean, there's a couple of places that got some heavy rain. Where is that? Breathitt County, Jackson, Jackson, Kentucky, picked up over 2 inches of rain. But as far as it being flooding rain, it just didn't. Things did not pan out today. The models were off on this one. Winds, and this is because where the front is, we've got a little bit more of an easterly flow, light, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Gusts, there may be a few 10 to 15, but that's it. Moisture, dew points, 70s, and even look at that, 81, your current dew point in Burkesville, Cumberland County, 81, the dew point. Oh, look at here, 82. 82 is your dew point temperature in Monroe County, Tompkinsville, and your temperature is 83. So it's 1 degree difference. So that means your humidity is running 95 to 100%. In other words, the atmosphere is hanging on and just holding all the moisture that it can hold. It can't hold anymore. It just can't. By the numbers, it can't hold anymore. It is crazy, crazy muggy. And it's, like I said, it's kind of nasty. I hate it when it's like this. It's just yuck, yuck, yuck. All right. Let's go to the maps and see. Oh, let me check. Let's go to the severe weather threat. Oh, okay. It timed out on me. Here we go. So the severe weather threat, it didn't. This is for today. It didn't really do anything here. The Weather Service Storm Prediction Center painted a big, wide swath, level 1 marginal risk for the entire state of Kentucky. And really, things just did not pop here today. Tomorrow, more of your garden variety stuff, although it wouldn't surprise me if we get a stronger storm. Now, Saturday's starting to look a little more interesting, even though in the 270, I really don't see that much of a threat, but you get up toward Louisville, Covington, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, and then into central Illinois. That's a level 1 to a level 2 risk. This is for Saturday afternoon and evening. But that's really the only threat of severe weather that I can see taking shape. But with this kind of volatile atmosphere, the kind that just is just really nasty with all this moisture. I mean, anything could cut loose at any time given the right setup. So I don't want you to think you're going to go by without seeing any severe weather, or to believe there won't be any severe weather. There could be. But as far as like a big, widespread severe weather outbreak, no, I don't see that. All right, here's the maps. And as you can see, like I drew on the radar, there's the front trying to stall. Here's high pressure holding it back. And that's why all this moisture is just pooling up right here over the top of us. And it's not going anywhere. And that's why when it's not raining, it is oppressively hot and humid. Here's 1 o'clock tomorrow morning, just after midnight. Chance of showers. I do believe there's going to be some rain and thunderstorms overnight tonight. You'll hear some rumbles of thunder. Somebody will. Maybe not all of you, but some of you. 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, yes, possibility of a round of showers and thunderstorms. Notice how the front starts to retreat back to the north, as I showed you. Gulf moisture high pressure pushing it in along the boundary, which then turns into a warm front Friday afternoon, and that's going to cause even more in the way of showers and thunderstorms. Here's Friday night, and then Saturday morning. Look, the front tries to come back, but it stalls. Now, that's good if you want rain. And really, we could use, at least here in southern Kentucky, we could use some rain. We could use, it's the first time I've said that in a long time, but we keep missing out on the opportunity to get rain. Some of you have gotten all the rain you want. You're like, okay, we're done. That's enough. And we are running in Bowling Green a surplus of over 13 inches of rain year to date. We're way ahead of pace, way ahead of schedule on rainfall for the year. If we keep it up like we're going, we're going to be way over for the year. But we're only halfway through. By the way, today was the exact halfway point of summer. And what does that tell you? And you're saying, well, didn't we just start summer? Yes. But when you count the days of summer, the summer season, today was the halfway point. And now look, fall is not that far away. August is not that far away. I mean, come on. I'm telling you, flying by. Here's 7 p.m. tomorrow evening, scattered showers and storms. Here's Sunday morning, more of the same. More of the same Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday starts to maybe back off a little. And Thursday, now when the rain chances back off, guess what happens? Guess what? I heard somebody. Yeah, it gets hotter. And you can see just by the scrolling forecast down at the bottom of the screen. You know, we go 92, 93, and 93, then it'll go like 95, 96 by the middle of next week. Less rain chances, more heat. Ugh. More heat. Ugh. Well, let's check on the heat. Update this, the blender, showing low 90s the next few days, and that's because of the better rain chances. But there you go. There are those mid 90s every day next week. And on maybe a day or two, if it gets hot enough and there's not much rain, we could go 96, 97. Heat index well above 100 pretty much every day next week. I think next week is going to be the hottest streak of weather so far of 2025. That's not to say that there won't be another one, but up until this point, I think it'll be the hottest stretch of weather that we have seen this year. So it's happening. It's going to happen. So get ready for it because it's going to be, in some cases, brutally hot and muggy. All right. Before we go, time to talk about the traditions built back in 1985 R&R Controls in Brownsville. And many of you have been, thinking about, should I spend the money on a generator? Yes, you should, and here's why. Would you just imagine that when it goes from summer to fall, then to winter, let's say if we have just as an active winter as we've had spring and part of the summer, and you know how many times your power has blinked or has gone off completely. Now think about your power going off when it's below freezing. And maybe there's snow on the ground, or maybe there's an ice storm. You're not going to like it. Right now, when it's the heat of summer, this is when you need to get a GenerRack generator. Because I'm telling you, R&R Controls, they are busy putting these things in homes and businesses. And yeah, they've got a list of places that they've got to go and get this done. So get on the list because it's only going to grow as we get to the end of summer and we start thinking about fall and winter. And then you're going to be behind and you're not going to get that generator in and working in time enough for it to get so cold and icy and snowy that you're going to need it. Then what are you going to do? You're going to try to find your flashlights. You're going to try to light a candle. I mean, what are you going to do? GenerRack generators will help you keep going and not miss a beat. And they're more affordable than you probably even realize. R&R Controls is your authorized GenerRack sales, service, and installation dealer. And they can help you with financing. It's pretty simple. So call them. R&R Controls 270-777-2024. That's R&R Controls 270-777-2024. R&R Controls, never be without. You don't want that. I can guarantee you. All right, here's a look at the 7-day forecast. 91 tomorrow. Look at that 80% chance of rain likely. Now, we had a high chance of rain today, but it just didn't happen here. It happened other places. But I think tomorrow there's still a good chance that we could get some beneficial rain. That goes for Saturday and even part of Sunday. Low 90s. We'll keep it in the low 90s because of the clouds and the rain. But then as the rain chances begin to lower, as we get into primarily the middle of next week, that's when the high temperatures go higher, like mid and upper 90s. You know it's going to get there. You know it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's just, yeah, it is going to happen because it's just that time of the year and these things do happen, and that's just the way it goes. Some of you saw today or saw in the newscast and saw in my post earlier, I received a very special certificate from the Kentucky House of Representatives. Representative Kevin Jackson here in Bowling Green surprised me. Another surprise. Y'all know what this is doing to my heart? It's like these surprises. I've never been more surprised in my life. I've never had this many surprises all at once, and they're all great surprises. It's just I'm not used to that. And so, yes, I'm a little awkward when it comes to those kind of things because I feel like, I'm just doing my job. And I don't, if you're doing your job, I don't think there should be any extra fanfare. That's the best way I can put it. But it was nice to receive that certificate of appreciation and in celebration of my KBA award, which I'll get in September, the Hall of Fame award. And so Representative Kevin Jackson came by the WNKY studios today and presented me with that. And I'm like, okay, wow, here's another wonderful surprise. And we just went down memory lane, and the whole thing talked about from start to finish how, and I joked around with somebody. I'm kind of like, am I on the TV show This Is Your Life? You guys remember that show? This is Your Life. They'd open a book and they would start showing you all the things. Yeah, that was I know I'm talking. Some of you youngins are like, there was a TV show called This Is Your Life. Yeah, it was very popular back when I still remember just as a little kid. I always thought it was fascinating. you know. Um, so it's felt like that, or it's like, am I dead? Are people like talking about me because I'm dead? I mean, I know that's morbid, and that's. I'm sorry. It just, but I got to tell you, that's the way it feels. It feels like all of a sudden it's these things that are happening, and it's very overwhelming. But with the kind of personality I have and the way I was raised and things like that, it is very not only humbling, but I find it very awkward. I don't know how to behave in those moments because I'm not expecting it. And I'm just like, really? Surely you're talking about somebody else. You're not talking about me. And they're like, no, we're talking about you. So thank you, Representative Jackson, and the House of Representatives in the state of Kentucky that did that for me. What an honor. What a thrill. And I'm just, it's another one of those moments I'm just blown away by the generosity of people that are in this area and care. And thank you. Okay, so now it's almost time for me to turn in and go to bed. You guys have a great evening. I'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early at 6 a.m. on News 40 Sunrise on WNKY. In the meantime, thank you for watching. As always, God bless you and